out who spread monotheism first, Moses or Akhenaten. I've just seen the Amarna letters in London and found out
Amazing.
that at the
They were
time
amazing.
of Akhenaten's reign, a conquest of Canaan was happening that perfectly matches the conquest recorded in the Bible. The Amarna letters called the conquerors of Canaan Habiru. Who were they? I've come to the ancient city of Lachish, one of the Canaanite cities attacked by the Habiru during Akhenaten's reign. It's here that I'm meeting with Ahmed Osman, an expert in both Egyptian and biblical history.
It's mentioned in the Tel Amarna letters, the letters that were written to King Akhenaten saying, help us, we're being attacked. And I thought, well, Akhenaten, what better place than be in front of the city, which he didn't help.
Yes. In fact, he didn't help anybody. I mean, in Jerusalem and other locations in Canaan, they all wrote letters to King Akhenaten asking him to help them because they were attacked by some strange people called Abiru, and he was not interested to help them, so he didn't care.
A lot of people have speculated that these Hapiru people that are mentioned in Tel Amarna letters are actually the Hebrews.
Yes, I believe they were Hebrews, not necessarily meaning Israelites, because the Israelites are one tribe of the Hebrews.
So not all Hebrews are Israelites, but all Israelites are Hebrews.
That's it.
If you find like bagels and lox in his stomach, you'll know.
You'll know, yes.
Ahmed Osman believes that the Habiru nomads that attacked Canaan were actually Hebrews that came out of the Sinai desert. This confirms the conquest of the Promised Land described in the Bible. You see, even though the land of Canaan had strategic importance for the Egyptians, during his reign, Akhenaten ignored the Amarna letters, and he let Canaan fall to the Hebrews, begging the question, if Akhenaten wasn't against the Hebrew conquest, could it be that he was actually for it?
He's not sending the cavalry.
He does not send the cavalry. In fact, he responds with requests for more glassware for his table.
Thank you for telling me that you're dying. Can you send some more glass?
I really like the gold plate.
What do you make of that?
That's a man who is completely self-absorbed.
Some people speculate that this group is the Hebrews.
I speculate that in my second book. There probably is some sort of association between them.
But if that's the case, if he's before Moses, how can you have Hebrews at the gates in Canaan?
That is a good question.
People haven't figured it out, eh?
No, they haven't.
Since I found out that the Habiru nomads who conquered Canaan were actually Hebrews, I think I've also figured out why Pharaoh Akhenaten refused to help the Canaanites.
I was looking for love, and
My quest to find out who was the first to spread monotheism has taken a turn. Even though there's plenty of evidence that Akhenaten and Nefertiti did start a monotheistic revolution in Egypt,
I've had great monuments created for honoring you.
there seems to be evidence that a Hebrew exodus from Egypt might have influenced them. You see, Akhenaten's grandfather might be able to explain everything. Akhenaten's grandpa was named Yuya, and his sarcophagus is now kept at the Cairo Museum in Egypt. Back in 1905, Yuya's mummy was found buried in the Valley of Kings, alongside the top pharaohs of Egyptian history. According to Ahmed Osman, Yuya is a Hebrew name, not an Egyptian one.
You say, and you called your book Stranger in the Valley of the Kings, right?
Yes.
Here's this mummy of this guy named Yuya.
Yes.
And he was the grandfather of Akhenaten.
Yes. In the tomb, they found his name spelled in different ways. But all the names have the Y.
The Yosem.
Yes. The Egyptians relate the person's name to the god he worshipped. You is the short of Yahweh or Jehovah. Or...
Akhenaten named himself after his god, Aten. Akhenaten's father was named after the Egyptian god Amun. But Akhenaten's grandfather's name represents the God of Israel.
This is the name of the God of Israel built into a name. And it's clearly not Egyptian. And you're the only guy who says, here's a guy who doesn't fit in the Valley of Kings. You're saying this Yuya guy is not Egyptian.
He is from the tribe of Jacob, who came from Canaan, and he's an Israelite, of course.
Okay, now that's controversial, right?
Okay, look at it, examine it, and see if I have enough evidence or not.
So you're saying, he doesn't look like an Egyptian.
No, if you look at his profile, he's a Semitic.
He's got a big nose?
Yes,
He's got the Semitic good looks.
yes,
Okay, so bottom line about Yuya, his name tells you he's a Semite.
yes,
His looks tell you he's a Semite.
yes.
My search to find out whether Akhnahten's faith in one God was influenced by Moses might have just hit pay dirt. Not only did the archaeology confirm a Hebrew conquest of the Promised Land at the time of Akhnahten's reign, but now there's evidence that Akhnahten's grandfather was Hebrew too. The name Yuya suggests that both Akhnahten and Nefertiti supported the conquest of Canaan recorded in the biblical books of Joshua and Judges. The reason they supported a Hebrew conquest was because they were closet Hebrews.
The patriarch of the family is known as Yuya. I'm amazed at the utter closed-mindedness of so many Egyptologists. The Ya sound is the God of Israel. So if you see these guys whose very names reflect their belief in an Egyptian way, now we can explain why he's not reacting to the Canaanites. If you have a monotheist pharaoh, right, he's going to be supportive of the Hapiru.
Because he doesn't care if it's taken over.
He doesn't care. They're his ideological buddies.
I think it's completely possible.
So anyway, that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
It's a good one.
It's a good one.
It is actually. It really is.